What's up, guys and gals? This is Griever back here, bringing you guys One Piece chapter 993, and I have this feeling that chapter 999 will be the last chapter of the year. I have this weird feeling about that. Either way, let's get underway with this one. I did not want to just review it. I'm going to go through this one like I've been doing here and there for different reviews for different chapters, just so I don't miss out on anything key. This is not a read-through or a live reaction. It's just a refresher as I go through the chapter. Because, I mean, wow. I mean, the chapter was a huge shock, wasn't it? Like, for most people. Not for me. Like, I didn't expect what I saw at the end of this chapter. But, like, once again, everyone complaining about the power scaling, about Kaido, about the rules of One Piece. And I'm like, does everybody forget except a handful of reviewers on YouTube? Does the entire community collectively forget what happened when Luffy fought Kaido when he first showed up at Wano? Everybody forget that? Everybody forget how Luffy took him out, took him to the ground, you know, used his strongest techniques, and then in the end, Kaido was like, yeah, all right then, let's go, punk. Boom! Sit down. Everybody forget that. Everybody also forget the fact that this dude has been captured and defeated in battle multiple times. They just couldn't kill him, you know? And as I said before, the power scaling thing, Kaido himself is shocked, but he's not in that much of a worry. Kaido is super shocked, but he's not in that much of a worry. So this switcheroo, which shocked a lot of the community from what I initially read really quick before starting this chapter review, I couldn't say I was one of those people. I was shocked for a different reason, and we'll get into it at the end of the chapter. So, that being said, but I have been saying this, as you guys have known, anybody watching my reviews has known, I've been saying, settle down, guys. There's nothing wrong with the power scaling, there's nothing wrong with Kaido, there's nothing wrong with the samurai. Everything's cool. Everything still makes sense. Nothing's going nuts yet. So, I just wanted to say this opening bit of the chapter, which was kind of nice, because we see, and at first, honestly, here on page 1, I thought that was like, what's his name? Caesar Clown. I thought that was Caesar Clown doing some crazy gas thing in a disguise or something like that for some weird reason. I have no idea why I thought that initially. It just seemed like it, but anyway, they're all just having fun. Everyone's, you know, it's the Grand Fire Festival in the Flower Capital. Everybody's having a great time. Everybody's doing great. You know, there's floats and there's, you know, a legend seemed plausible to come through. And that sort of looks, I think that's supposed to be Odin sort of looking thing, like doing the one, like the float thing. I don't know, it's sorta, but not really, but sorta, but not really. So anyways, but everybody's having a grand time. Everyone's like, I wish the day would never end. We're all drinking, we're all having a great time. And it's ironic because the people are laughing, getting drunk, saying, you know what? What if the battle is happening right now in Onigashima? What if today doesn't end? What if tomorrow morning we wake up and Orochi and Kaido are gone? What if that happened, you know? And so everyone said that it's the best day of the year. But for now, dance and enjoy yourself, for today is the Fire Festival. And so we see the reaction of all the people of Wano who don't realize what's actually going down on Onigashima. The rest of the country is completely unaware of what is happening right now on Onigashima. The fate of their country is happening as they speak, as they merriment and getting drunk, and they have no idea really that they might be celebrating the last time of the cruelty, you know. They could be, some people might be dismayed because it's like, okay, it's like a few pages of these guys, but we don't care. Come on. Let's see what's going on. Let's extend these battles. Let's see some stuff. You know, why are we wasting time like this? I think this is important to show us. I think Oda did it. I mean, clearly Oda did this on purpose, but I think we needed to see it. We needed to see what was going on in the rest of Wano while the battle was going down. We needed to see what the people were saying, what the people were thinking across all types of life, right? We needed to see that so we can truly move on, so that we know at the end how everything came about, right? I'm fine with it, and I think it was all right. So after this, we're back to the whole. Remember those bullets? Remember those fired shots that Queen, the Plague, happened to fire into the crowd and X-Drake was worried about? Well, here we go. Because apparently, these plague bullet sort of idea, that was Queen. It really is a plague, says X-Drake, because him and Zoro are there. It turns them cold and turns them into Onis. It turns them into these ice Onis, ice demons. And that's what Queen says. He says, close the doors to the towers, and then we get a quick layout. Oda's good with that, showing us that stuff. So he shows the different levels and said, this floor is finished. This is the shining jewel of my playgrounds called the Ice Oni. So once again, we're seeing another type of one of his diseases, one of his bullets that impact a crazy monstrosity into it, right? So Robin and Chopper notice this as well. And these ice Onis, they get infected by the people. They turn into these ice devils, and then they devour other people. And similar to zombies, I'm assuming... it's not really made clear, but I believe... it's hard to see, but like there's an ice Oni here grabbing onto one guy and biting down like a zombie, and maybe it's infectious in that way. Or maybe they're just slaughtering them. Maybe you have to be hit by the bullet. That part is sort of left unclear at the moment. But either way, Luffy's still running through in the first basement level, and then we get Sanji showing up doing a party table kick course, and we get a couple of more. We get a headliner with a gorilla for an arm, which, I mean, it's wacky, it's Oda, but I mean, of course, it's a who cares sort of villain, right? Because the gorilla arm, though it does pack a punch, it's Sanji and Luffy against this thing. And Luffy keeps getting distracted and he wants to run and he's like, oh, there's more guys there too. It's like, I want to fight them as too. Like Sanji keeps saying, no, you're supposed to be heading up there to fight Kaido. Right now, like, stop dealing with the riffraff. You got to save your stamina. You got to, stop. These are fodder characters, Luffy. Stop it. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go take care of them. And he says, conserve your strength. It's like, you guys can't. It's funny. Luffy actually tells Sanji, it'll take you too long to handle all these guys alone. It's like, would he say that to Zoro? Because he just leaves Zoro to do his thing all the time, right? And Zoro's definitely going to show up there. It's going to be, Zoro is definitely, if Zoro's not taking on one of the calamities, he's going to be up there. Because that was the intention, remember? Luffy and Zoro were like, hey, I'm heading up with you. Like, let's go take down Kaido together, So, it's funny his reaction talking to Sanji about it. So I'm sure that some fans or haters for Sanji's character or Zoro is so much better than Sanji are going to have a field day with this one panel. But either way, he says, shut up, is 2 seconds, it's 10 seconds too long for you. I'll do it in 3. And then we hear, I'll do it in 3. Fishman karate, shark brick fist. And it's like, bam. So Jinbei shows up. And then Luffy's happy to see Jinbei. Once again, a real contender for the Monster Trio. Sorry, Sanji. Even with your raid suit, you got Zoro and Jinbei and Luffy. You're fourth on the crew right now. I'm sorry to say. And don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not a Sanji hater, but as far as power scaling, I could not say that Sanji could beat Luffy, Zoro, or Jinbei. So straight up. So yeah. So Jinbei shows up and Luffy's like, Jinbei. Okay, Jinbei's here. It's fine. I figured I'd find you here. They're going to the roof, so Jinbei and Sanji sort of have a thing going on and stuff, and I don't know, it's a back and forth thing. Either way, we get that weird, weird black cat with that strange eye thing on it again, and it's that Bao Hein, that squirrel sort of woman that's always wearing the thingy she was talking to Kaido again. She's like the reconnaissance ninja sort of character. And it seems like with these pieces of paper, she's able to use them with the eye on it, like the eye, like the Sheikah eye from Zelda. She's able to, or the Millennium Eye from Yu-Gi-Oh! She's able to actually observe almost like a camera feed system. So she finds out where Yamato and Momonosuke are and how to find them and stuff. And he's apparently talking to King about it, hanging upside down, or talking to King, and says the enemy's strength is about over 5,000. They're Odin's vassals. Basically, King keeps talking about killing Momonosuke and bringing his head to me, and all the other members of the Tobiropo are hearing it, they're discussing it and stuff. So things about it are sort of going to go down. Like, King recognizes that, okay, if we eliminate Momonosuke, the samurai will all lose their will to fight because that's their last hope for the salvation of Wano. However, the pirates are a different matter. That's the deal. Like, we might be able to dismay the samurai, but the pirates will continue to fight. So while we take out Momonosuke, the pirates are going to be a whole nother kettle of fish. So at least he's recognized that. That's quite interesting. And then we see Sasaki, who manages to find where Shinobu and Momonosuke were running with Yamato, running further behind. And Shinobu gets pierced by arrows. She gets attacked. Momonosuke is so worried. We get some crazy, like, Norse Viking looking dude with a giant axe coming out. Like, this is the end, like, riding on a turtle, or he's a turtle zone. His feet are part of a turtle looking zone thing. Or some type of old dinosaur, armored dinosaur thing. And it's quite weird. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of weird. So, pretty much, Shinobu is caught and injured and tells Momonosuke to run, while this guy's looming over them. And Momonosuke is realizing that a shogun would never do such a thing. But Yamato comes in, no problem, boom! And it's just like, yeah. And because remember, they were running from Yamato, and which right now is part of their folly, but Yamato is standing his ground. We have the, I'm not going to call them that, the Beast Pirates Armored Division. Armored spelt wrong. We have the Beast Pirates, so this whole title card is just a mess. You got, it's not the Beast Pirates. There's Armored without a U. It's just awful. So either way, this is the Armored Division, and we see a lot of interesting characters here. So far, we've got a Rhino sort of zone. Now, that Rhino zone looks awesome. He's like a football player, helmet and gear and shoulder pads and stuff. He looks awesome. He's carrying, like, double pistols while on top of a rhino, which also houses the chair for Sasaki with his name above it, and he's sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm top shit. So that guy's really cool. There's a weird dude with a Hari written on him. He's got a bow. He looks like some type of hedgehog or porcupine zone. Really weird looking. We got like a metal crab spider thing. What else do we got? We got something else. It's hard to really tell the other ones really in the background. Like, we're seeing weird swords and limbs and stuff, but I'm not really sure what their smile zone powers are exactly. It's kind of hard to tell. The rhino's pretty obvious. Same with the porcupine and or hedgehog guy. The rest of them are a little like up for debate, right? But there seems to be this armored division. I'm assuming that this turtle Norse god-looking bearded dwarf thing was also a member of that got taken out here by Yamato. So now we got, by the looks of it, counting just faces, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus Sasaki. So 7 versus Yamato, because Shinobu's out of the fight, and Momonosuke right now, like, he's still a little kid. Like, he's not Odin, right? So Sasaki tells Yamato, you intend to fear anyway, young master Yamato? And he said, I'm not. And she says, I'm not interfering. I'm fighting for Kazuki. And I'm like, all right, cool. So that's going to be an interesting fight. I don't think we're going to see, once again, I think that's another fight that's going to be mostly off-screened. I really do. I believe that. We might jump back and see Sasaki and Yamato both with injuries clashing with the rest of the Armored Division down sort of idea, and then when we jump back. But definitely going to be a lot of off-screen fights in this Wano arc. I mean, it's just going to happen, guys, because we have to spend chapters worth on the fight with Kaido. We need to spend, time with Luffy and Zoro and stuff. Like, that's the stuff that's going to matter, right? So, yeah, so anyways, we jump over here to the end part of the chapter. And this is after, the Totsuki Paradise Slash or whatever happened, and right on the scar that Odin left. And it's bleeding. And Kaido is down. And they're running. I love this. This makes total sense to me right away. We have, I'm not sure who says it. It's either Kinemon, Denjiro, somebody like that. But they basically go, stop his breathing. Sever his windpipe while he's down right now. Let's go cut his goddamn neck. Let's cut his head off. I'm like, finally, somebody, like, you know, it's like Dragon Ball Z. Like, every time, they always wait for the dust cloud to settle, and then the person is there, you know, sort of idea. It's like, no. None of that. None of this game. None of this, I think it's dead. Do you think it's dead? I'm not sure. And then give time for recovery. It's like, no, go stomp on that thing's head before it has time to recover. So, I love this. Sever his windpipe. Run up, and, like, they're charging. They didn't rest on their laurels. They're going to slash him in the throat. This fight ain't over until his head is severed. I love that attitude. The samurai are taking no chances. And Kaido says, in your spirit, I saw the visage of Kazuki Oden. And he starts to rise again. I could have let you kill me. I mean, that's pretty potent. With each throb of my scar, I remember. And Kaido remembers his disgrace at hitting Oden from the back. Oden was the one who could have taken him down, and he got a cheap shot in. He remembers the old witch pretending to be Momonosuke, and Oden getting distracted, and that was the opportunity Kaido needed to hit him. But you people are not Oden. We will never see a monster samurai of his like again. And this is where Zoro's got to come in. This is why, when I first saw it, I forget how, remember they were floating up or whatever? I forget how they were flying or whatever. Oh, they grabbed onto the edge of Kaido or whatever, or something like that. And either way, Zoro and Luffy were both heading up, right? Zoro and Luffy were both heading upwards to go and fight Kaido at the top here. Kaido, I guarantee you, Zoro is going to be a major factor involved with fighting Kaido. He has to be, because he keeps talking about the samurai. He wants to fight another samurai. He doesn't want to fight Luffy. He wants to fight Zoro, because he wants to fight Oden 2.0. He needs to fight Oden again. He needs to fight a swordsman, a samurai with the power. I mean, you could argue it could be any swordsman, but he wants a samurai. He wants to fight an image of a samurai. And remember, Zoro uses 2-sword style and 3-sword style. He's not playing. He's not copying. It's the perfect setup. I mean, you could argue that he could be fighting Shanks or Rayleigh or somebody else who uses a sword, but Rayleigh and Shanks aren't samurai. Zoro fights in the methods of Wano. Zoro was trained by a Wano samurai. Zoro is, for all intents and purposes, a samurai. You know, his name's Zoro. He's just like a samurai, right? So this is just making me believe, this whole part is making me believe that Zoro needs to be here. Because he's still, as Kaido himself has said, you know, for a moment I saw Oden. And I could have let you kill me with that, with each star of my scar. But then I remember, but you people are not Oden. And we will not see a monster like that again. He refers to him as a monster samurai, because he was that powerful. Kaido, I believe that Kaido thinks that Oden could have killed him. You know, 1v1, no distractions. Kaido believes that he, maybe not he would have died, but he could have been killed by Oden, straight up. And his level of respect and his own shame for winning that battle on a technicality, it's still, we still see it 20 years later, he's still thinking about Oden. And what he says here is that it is too shallow. You don't have enough power to open up the old scar. So even though it's bleeding, and it is bleeding, apparently they haven't dug deep enough. They've simply scratched the surface of his scar by the sounds of it. And Kaido's back up in full form and says, you cannot do it. And then he breathes some invisible air slashes. Denjiro says it, watch out, and Kiku just so we see Kiku shocked, Kinemon and Izo, or Izo, yelling, Kiku! And, for a moment, it took me a while to see it, but for a moment, I thought literally it was like her body. Like, at first, I didn't really recognize because it was kind of hard to tell. Like, it's Kiku's arm is just gone. Sword, broken, arm, gone. Kiku tried to defend against this air slash attack of Kaido's. Kaido's got multiple abilities here, man. So many abilities. Lightning, fire breath, now wind slashes. But tried to block it. It cut right through her katana and cut her arm clean off. And everybody's super shocked. Like, that is devastating. So anybody saying the power scaling is off, Kaido just did the same bullshit that he pulled with Luffy, guys. When he's in his dragon form, he likes to screw around. He gives everyone a big target. He goes, come at me, bro. And he tries. He says, come at me. Can you kill me? A lot of people, before we even got to Wano and before we knew a lot about Kaido, there was this whole thing going around that Kaido is suicidal. That Kaido wants to be killed. He jumps off of Sky Islands. He gets drunk about it and jumps off of islands and stuff, trying to kill himself. A lot of people have talked about that as a rule, as a thing. So, and once again, this is very, very similar to how his attitude with the battle with Luffy went. And now he's tired. He's like, okay, you guys gave it your best shot, but it's not enough to wound me. It's not enough to kill me. Kaido's still questioning as to why they're able to cut him, but it's like, yeah, but even you guys all combined, you didn't even manage to open up my old scar by Odin. Odin did this to me by himself, and you guys couldn't even open it up with 4 of you doing the same thing. So I was hoping I could have let you do it, but you're just not worthy of killing me. You're not Odin. And so then he slashes, and as I said, at first I didn't know what this was. I thought, because we got this side panel, I thought Kiku was cut in half. I thought like it was going to be like the whole right down, because it was kind of hard to tell at first. And then I thought, is that like organs? Like was it punched right through sort of idea? But upon later inspection, it's just an arm. Oda just pulled a Kubo. Just let's cut a limb off and let's make it look devastating as hell. Let's do a Taite Kubo and let's cut off an arm. That's what we always do in Bleach. We cut arms off. So, yeah. So, pretty much, that's the end of the chapter. That was a big shocker for a lot of people. A lot of people were super shocked. And can you blame anybody? I don't blame anybody. This is shocking. Like, I don't think anybody expected this coming forth, considering the beatdown that the Red Scabbards were putting on Kaido. And now a lot of people were unhappy, so maybe people will shut the hell up and be, happier about this now and realize, okay, Kaido was just, letting them give it their best shot, just like we know from previous chapters, and everybody seemed to forget. But either way, I just wanted to mention that, and I've mentioned it 3 or 4 times, just so we're all clear. This is all within the realm. This is what's happening. Now Kaido is going to fight back, and it's going to be pretty goddamn devastating. It's going to be pretty awful. So this is where I think we're going to start to get like other characters need to start showing up in the battle against Kaido. That, or I have a feeling we're going to jump away from the Kaido battle, and when Luffy finally does get to the top, he's going to see devastation. He's going to see like everybody gone. Like it's going to be brutal. So I'm hoping we have a Luffy Zoro tag team against Kaido. That would be really cool. But either way, that's the chapter, guys. I hope the review didn't go too long. What did you guys think of the chapter? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I thought it was pretty great. I thought it was really shocking here at the end. I did not expect that to happen. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's always very much appreciated. This has been Griever with your One Piece Chapter 993 review. Drink responsibly, as always, and we'll see you back here next time. Peace out.